Today I have here is this Sonoff Dongle Max, and it is called a Max for a reason. It does not only use the newer MG24 chip for Zigbee or Thread communication, but also provides Wi-Fi access point for other IoT devices. It uses higher antenna gain compared to its predecessors. You can connect and manage Zigbee devices in remote locations via WireGuard VPN configuration. It provides the option to configure the device via Home Assistant directly. It can trigger webhooks based on certain triggers, and to add to that, you can also power this device via power over Ethernet. So those are quite number of features, and hence it's called a Dongle Max. Now after I powered on the device, I connected to the default Wi-Fi network and accessed the setup screen and set up a new password. After that, the device restarted and I was able to access the web UI. Now this is the page that gets loaded once you can access the web console, and right now I have just powered this device using a USB cable, so you can just see this connection here being live. Now if I go down here, you get to see the various information about the MG24 chip, which is right now set as a Zigbee coordinator mode, and then you have the two chips inside here, that is this one is for the Wi-Fi communication and this one is for your Thread or Zigbee communication. Now here right now I have not configured anything like from the VLAN point of view or from the Ethernet. The access point is being accessed via this gateway, that is 42.1. Now let's go ahead and configure the network settings. So in network settings, here the access point is enabled and the SSID is this default SSID. I'm not going to change this for now. Let's go to Ethernet, and here this would be set up if you connect the Ethernet cable to it. Then in the Wi-Fi settings, I'm going to now set up the SSID. So now with this, I have set up my Wi-Fi network here, and if you go back to the AP settings here, you get to see this option that will allow internet connection to devices that are connected to this Wi-Fi network. So now with this, all the devices that are connected to this SSID will get an internet connection. So let's go back here, and we are going to look at the MG24 configuration. So now this chip takes care about your Thread or Zigbee communication. So right now it is set to the Zigbee coordinator mode. You can change it to a router mode also, and you can also change it to the Thread radio coprocessor mode. Once you select this option and click on confirm, this will flash the required firmware in order to make this chip act as a Thread radio coprocessor. Now once this thing completes, head over to Home Assistant, and here in the settings, go to the add-ons, click on add-on store and search for open Thread border router, and then here go to the configuration section and then enable this option here. And here you need to specify the IP address with which the device is connected to your Wi-Fi network, which in my case it is 0.181 and the port number 6638, and then keep this as the baud rate. Now once you do that, click on save, and this will give you an error. So right now it's giving an error saying that there's a missing device option. So I went ahead and edited this option and I added this dummy device here. But when I click on save here, it still says that this device is not found. So right now at this stage, I could not still connect this wirelessly to Home Assistant. I still have to connect it via the USB cable. So let me connect this via the USB cable now. Now once you connect it via the USB cable, it should be detected here. Click on it. And then after that, you also need to specify this network address again. This is what I have figured out, that you have to still specify this network address. Click on save and then click on start add-on. And now go to the logs and see that the device has started. Now I have noticed that this device starts up only once you give that network information. So if you see this log like successfully sent discovery information to Home Assistant, that means the radio is now working. Now if you go into the info section, this is right now in the version 2.15.3, and in this version, in the configuration, you still have to give it a valid device that is connecting via the USB cable, and then specify also this network address. This was the only way I was able to configure this device as a Thread radio coprocessor. Once this is done, go to settings here and then go to devices and services, and here you should see that the open Thread border router is configured. You can go back to the Thread section, and on clicking this gear icon, you should see this thing configured here. Now with this, let's go back to the dongle again. So right now let me go back to the Zigbee coordinator mode. So once this is completed and you click on confirm, since this dongle is now connected to your Wi-Fi, this should automatically be detected as a coordinator in Home Assistant. So right now if you see here, it is detected here. You can click on add and then start up the setup to migrate your existing Zigbee network. Once you do that, you should see the Dongle Max here, and once you click inside this, you can add devices, and then also you will see all the migrated devices that are connected to this Dongle Max. Now let's go back to the configuration here. And here we have Zigbee2MQTT and Zigbee home automation integration. Now for each of these, you can either set it up by the USB connection or you can do a TCP connection here. So here in your Zigbee2MQTT configuration, you need to specify this TCP address and the baud rate. So I would basically rely on using the IP address of this device, that is not this one, but rather you could go back here and find the IP address to which this device is connected to. So use this IP address in this configuration while communicating with TCP. That would be more reliable, I would say. Similarly, you would do the same thing for Zigbee home automation integration, wherein you can connect it via the USB port or you can connect it via the Wi-Fi configuration here. Mostly you might not need to do this because it automatically gets detected like this. Now let's go to the tool section. So in the tool section, here we have this MQTT setup here. So if I enable this and set up the server here, like here I have set up the entire configuration of the MQTT broker, which is present inside Home Assistant here. So this is the MQTT broker, and I have specified in the configuration, I've created a login, that is MQTT, and these are the information that I've specified here. I've specified the IP address of Home Assistant and MQTT as a protocol and specified the username and password. And with this, when I click on save, you see here, it is now connected to the Home Assistant's MQTT broker. Now, if I go to the MQTT section here you see that the dongle device is present here. And with this, you can access various information of the dongle. Like for example, if you want to enable the internet access, disable the LED indicator, night mode, WireGuard, and quite many things like if the firmware is up to date or not. All these information are now propagated inside Home Assistant. So with this, you can get a lot of controls from the device inside Home Assistant via this MQTT integration. So now this was about MQTT integration. We also have this webhook section wherein we can add webhook invocations such that you can specify a name of a webhook. Then you can specify a trigger. Like for example, we have these triggers here. If the Home Assistant or Zigbee2MQTT is disconnected or the IP address change, you can set one of these triggers here and then specify the URL that needs to be called. These are like webhooks that this device can call for certain triggers that you have configured in this section here. So right now this feature is available in this device and you can explore more about it on the Sonoff website. Now let's look at this WireGuard information. So now in this WireGuard section, you can create a tunnel to connect remote devices by configuring a WireGuard tunnel here. Now there is an entire guide provided by Sonoff wherein you can establish a WireGuard VPN tunnel connecting the remote Dongle Max to Home Assistant such that you can manage the remote Zigbee devices using Zigbee Home Automation or Zigbee2MQTT. So this is a very useful feature if you want to manage remote devices using Home Assistant via this dongle. Now let's go back here, and here we have this channel energy scan. So with this, we can scan the various channels that we can use and use the best channel that is available for us. So after scanning the available channels, you can specify which channel should be used for your Zigbee communication or for your Wi-Fi network. Now in the firmware section, since we have two chips here, that is the MG24 and the ESP32, these have separate firmwares that you can update here. You can check for updates and then update the firmware here. Similarly, we have this ESP32, which is right now used for your Wi-Fi network. Now, apart from this, if you go to this security and backup, you can change the login password here. You can also take a backup of this entire device and also restore the configuration back using this restore option. Then in the settings, you have the option to change the name of the device. You can change the MDNS host name also here, and then the other information like the language, time, dark mode, and all these information can be changed also here. Now there is one limitation that I would say is that the access point provides 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi and can accommodate only up to 8 devices, which I would say is good enough for IoT devices but may not give you the best internet browsing experience on your laptop or smartphones. This device costs about 42 euros on AliExpress, or you can buy it from the Sonoff website, and it's also available on Amazon. You can buy it with the links down into the description below. Now, if you like to see such in-depth videos about making your home smart, then make sure to subscribe to the channel as well as hit that like button for more such videos to come. Now, if you want, you can support this channel via Patreon, or you could just buy me a coffee. Till then, take care and I'll see you in my next one.